So we go up to Rusty's sometime in that September, and we're up at his place, and he comes out and he's talking to us and getting ready to leave, and he's standing at the Madeline's door and the window's down, and he goes, "Be careful." And I'm going, "Okay, you too, man." And he goes, "Be careful." And then he said it again. He said it 3 times. "Be careful." I know the guy code. There was something going on there. That guy, man, he really meant that. My life was threatened right there by him. I didn't realize it at the time. Came away from that going, "Ooh, that was weird," So, September 28th, we're at the Quality Inn Hotel, and it's about 10:30 at night. We're in bed, and my phone rings. And I don't answer it. I just, hit the thing. It'll go to voicemail, whatever. I don't answer it. And it rings again, a minute later. And so I pick it up. And this guy says, "If you want to live, you'd better get out of Sequim." And I'm going, "What? Who's this?" And he goes, "You don't need to know who this is. But if you want to live, you better get out of Sequim." I hung up. It's like, okay, fucked up my evening. I don't think I got to sleep till late that night. I was just ready to fall asleep and this happens. Call the Sequim police and tell them the exact, everything that happened, the phone number that's on my phone, dumb fuck. They call me back and they say they talked to them. There's nothing they can do. They told him not to do it again, whatever, and just, they would not tell me who it was. So I'm walking around Sequim. Somebody's threatened me. I'm expecting to get, clocked up alongside the head from behind any time after September 28th of 2018. So anyway, that was like, God, man, I had 3 people wanted to kick my ass in Sequim at one time. The squatter wanted to kick my ass that we were kicking out of their house, man. I was 5 seconds from slicing that motherfucker's throat. He doesn't realize it, man. I fucking had 2 knives in my pocket. I was, after I was threatened, man, I'm telling the cop, man, I will always have a knife on me. I will kill whoever fucking attacks me. And yeah, like, what can he say, I can't help you. That's, bottom line. They couldn't fucking help me, so fuck you, Sequim police. So we spend that winter. We ended up, we got kicked out of Quality Inn. I couldn't believe, because I told the manager and the assistant manager we were there for the duration, it's like, and they overbooked and they kicked us out. And I said, "Fuck you, we'll never stay at a Quality Inn again." We didn't. I won't. And we ended up at Sequim Bay Lodge. Sequim Bay Lodge, and it $50 a night. They were really good. We were there 28 days. You don't get taxed anymore and stuff. The manager was really good. They took care of us. We had a couple snowstorms that winter, man. We had that 15-inch snowstorm that Madeline and I survived right there. That was great, man. There were other guests or whatever in the hotel, and we all kind of looked out for each other. And when one of us went to the store, we made the rounds. What do you need? And got through that. So we lived there from probably October till March 1st when we moved back into her house. And that's all she wanted. That's all she wanted, to go home. She wanted to die at home. She just wanted to go home. And Madeline's will was my will. If that's what she wanted, I was going to make it happen. I didn't give a shit. I really didn't. That's one thing that people don't get about me, is I don't give a fuck, and I still don't give a fuck. I almost died. I shouldn't be alive. I do not give a fuck. People say that, just rolls off the tongue, and, watch me. Just watch me, man. Watch what I'm going to do. So we, fighting with the attorneys, get the squatters out. They don't get out until fucking the end of February. Dell and Judy, they made it easier for the squatters to stay and harder for Madeline. They cost us money. You motherfuckers cost Madeline money. The squatters cost Madeline money. When that motherfucker showed up at Madeline's funeral with his fucking girlfriend, I was pissed, man. I was ready to slice his throat, man, and go, you fuck Madeline, and you show up here, motherfucker. So anyway, he wanted to kick my ass. Dell had threatened me. I didn't know who he was, and when I lived at the motel down there, it was the Great House Motel in Sequim. It was run by these Korean people. And the neighbor wanted to kick my ass. I come walking up the stairs, and he's got this puppy dog lab, man, and this thing just jumps in my face, and all he does is fucking laugh, and I get pissed off, and he's wanting to kick my ass over there. Like, fuck you, man. It was funny. I saw him working at Burger King, man, and he was, I don't know, the shift manager or whatever. He's just standing there, and I go through drive-through, and I, get done, and I look at him, and he's looking at me, and I go, fuck you. All the employees heard it, it was funny. Anyway, I can be vindictive. Had 3 people wanting to kick my ass. So we get the squatters out of the house finally. They left all their shit. I was really surprised that the house was in good a condition as it was, because they didn't, nothing was torn up, no walls broken, nothing, no holes, everything was filthy, but there was nothing, they hadn't done anything. So we move in March 1st, and Dell and Judy come over, and they're sitting in our living room. And Dell says to Madeline and me, I was the one that made that phone call. The one threatened me to get out of Sequim. He lied to me later, said, I didn't ever threaten you. Like, yeah, you motherfucker. Tell me that again. Anyway, so he's sitting there, and he says that, man. He admits it to Madeline and I. And I was at the time, I was kind of impressed. I'm going, this motherfucker's a man. I didn't realize the game that they were playing at the time. But I'm sitting there going, okay. And then Judy and Madeline are talking, and this motherfucker looks at me. Dell looks at me, and he goes, no motherfucker is going to take this property from me. I went, okay. I just want what Madeline says is mine, which is that house. So, okay. That was his. When I moved Madeline in, Madeline was squatting on her property in their eyes. They had gotten rid of her. They were going to name that Sage Hen Lane. They had a sign. They put it up. I guess Rusty did it for Judy's birthday, and Madeline saw it, and she got fucking pissed at Dell. Or at them. She's going, I'm not dead yet. This is not fucking Sage Hen Lane. It's Layton Hill Lane, or Layton Hill Road. So, she got them to take that out. That comes up later in the story. Layton Hill Road. So, he's sitting there, and he says, no motherfucker's going to take this from me. And he also, what was the other threat he made to me that day? So, by the end of that day, he had threatened me 4 times. Oh, he threatened me that if I ever hurt Madeline. So, before we got married, even before I quit, Madeline told me the story about how Judy tried to poison her. And Jeanette, Madeline's caregiver, was not part of it, but she was there when this happened. And she's like, she kind of confirmed the story to me that Judy brought this melon over or something, and they cut it up, and the next day it's bad. And it's like, that doesn't really happen like that. And Madeline made me promise. She made me swear that I would never tell anybody. But Judy tried to kill Madeline. And I moved her back in that house. How stupid can you be, John? You moved her back in after that. It's what Madeline wanted. Nothing else mattered but Madeline. I didn't care about anything else. I still don't care about anything else but Madeline. So, that motherfucker threatened me again, and I took it. We move in, and they did absolutely nothing. Their biggest sin to me is they did absolutely nothing to make Madeline's life into better. All they did was fuck with me the whole 11 and a half months I lived there. That's all they did. Come in, say, we love you, Madeline, but they'd treat me like shit. And I'd go bitch at Madeline about it, and she'd go, you're the man, you're the husband, you're the one, I don't give a shit, you're right. And, but they would just, any way they could, they would go out of their way to make my life harder. was the kind of the one thing I look back on taking care of Madeline is just everybody that fucking bailed on me and taking care of Madeline. Everybody thought I was swindling her. I was taking advantage of her. And everybody stepped back and nobody helped me. You know, I had some girl that I used to work with was taking care of my laundry. She got fucking some attitude. I mean, we had a snowstorm. I couldn't get there. And she's like giving me some attitude about this. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't need this. You know, I couldn't get laundry done. It was, man, God, I wish I'd talked Madeline into a catheter long before she died. I would have slept with her in the same bed up until, you know, long before. I slept on the floor for the last 4 months of Madeline's life. Shit, the last 2 months I didn't have any human contact. When Madeline died and I came out of that, it was like, wow. I mean, to be touched by someone else was, I mean, because I was doing all the touching, I wasn't being touched. So we're living up there, and Dell, Judy are fucking with me any way they can. Rusty is coming in saying, oh, my dad's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's coming in spying is what he's doing, because they're going back at night and putting their heads together, all 3 of them, 4 of them. I think Anna's involved in all this. And, you know, I mean, Rusty, you motherfucker, you better hope I never fucking get within sight of you ever again. You better fucking hope that, motherfucker.